actually very good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us here on Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. It is another edition of our show. We are live in studio in the beautiful Central Coast of California. Wherever you are, I hope it's a fantastic day for you, and thanks for joining us. I am Billy Gibbs, that guy right over there, Mr. Mike Brabennick. He's the co-host today. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good to be here, Mr. Gibbs.
It's good to have you here. You know, we were just talking before we came on. Mike and I haven't seen each other since last week, almost this time.
It feels like a year.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Or just talk with each other.
I know.
So it's interesting for us because we're best of buds. So
we try to avoid each other as much as possible. It keeps the friendship strong.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, is that's what's happened. I think we've, after all these years, 18 years or so, we have nothing else to say to each other. It's over. Basically, it's over.
It's all done. Yeah. That was a good run.
I sure loved every minute of it, buddy. So thank you for all of that.
Yeah, it was a good run, man. You know.
So, how have you been, for one thing? But I hope you're well. But I do know that you went to a rock concert or something, man.
Was it awesome?
Was it good?
Gosh, it was good. So I went in with, I don't know why I went in with lower expectations. I guess I just didn't know what to expect.
Can you hear those from your house, by the way?
We can hear it, but we can't hear what they're saying.
Okay, but you can hear the noise? You hear the thump, 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 the bass?
Thump, 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 and then you can hear the people.
I didn't mean to stop.
I never hear anybody go.
I was always wondering if you could hear it from where you live.
And it's funny because some people will say, gosh, I heard the concert from my house the other night.
Yeah, right.
I just sit on the back patio. I'm like,
tap your foot.
Tell me what they said. Tell me the song. Tell me the song list.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it. We've been every year, because we live in Paso with the Paso Robles Fair coming in. We have a what do you call it? It's not turnstile. We have an open door policy. So we've had 3 different sets of friends come through in the last 10 days.
No one told me
it's
this,
always
man.
open for you,
dude. I'd have been camping at your place.
Oh, we have just people.
That's a neat idea. So people
scattered
people
who
are coming down to the state fair, mid-state fair. They can you have an open door with your friends.
Yeah.
That's neat.
They stay in the East Wing.
Yeah, you got 9 rooms. I mean, what the heck? You could probably.
There's kids laying all over the floor.
You charge $5 for parking on your yard?
No, we haven't gotten to that part yet. But I got to be careful. I mean, the last 2 days, I took Thursday off because we went Wednesday night. We went and saw Kid Rock. And,
So
I took Thursday off. Thank goodness.
Can I mention?
Wow.
Are you getting older by any chance? I'm just curious. Are you noticing it?
Yeah. I'll tell you. When we went to Kid Rock Wednesday night, I haven't been to a concert in a little while, and I needed to kind of let loose a little bit. So we had some fun, and I woke up at 3 a.m. sweating, and I open my eyes and I go,
getting rid of the poisons.
Yeah, I'm going, oh, what did I do? And I had this flashback to college, and I thought, I don't know how I did this. And it wasn't like I was out of control. I mean, all I had was beer. I didn't have anything but beer.
But you're not a party animal. So when you get to, you're old now, so you're not. I know you really well. It's just the last thing you are is a party animal.
And so I woke up, went back to sleep. Thank goodness I went right back to sleep. And I woke up at like 8. And I was like, where's the coffee? Where's the coffee? And then
it's almost not worth it sometimes.
But you know what? It was such a great show, man. Kid Rock is just amazing, man.
See,
I don't know what I expected. I guess I've got his new album, Born Free, and that's not a plug. He didn't pay me or anything.
Free as though.
And it's a great album. It's really mellow. It's kind of got like
kind of crossing into country.
Yeah, it's kind of got a Leonard Skinner,
cool.
Bob Seger kind of feel to
nice.
it. And so his other stuff is way different from that, and I like that stuff too. So I didn't know what to expect, but man, the guy is awesome. I mean, he sings well. He plays the piano amazingly well. He plays the drums. He was playing the guitar. It was just great, man.
Which is so fun because I don't know him either at all. I mean, I've seen him on the award shows, and I've seen him on different TV things and reality things, but I don't know his music at all. I mean, I couldn't even tell you a song, but it's neat to know. It's not that I'm closed off to it. I just don't know. So
he was great too. He came out. And he played his songs, and he took a little break, broke out a lawn chair, and sat in the middle of the stage, and he goes, I've been all over the world, man. He's like, I thought I'd seen every nook and cranny. He's like, I'd never been to Paso Robles. He goes, I really like this place.
Oh, very.
And he goes, I'm coming back. Whether he's coming back or not. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I had a first at the end of the concert. Concert's over around 10. Fair's open until midnight. So we're kind of hanging out, chilling, and
corn dogging.
Well, check out what I had: chocolate covered bacon.
You did it.
It was so good.
You had chocolate. I always see those things.
It
There's
was so good.
Was it good?
Oh.
So you had the sweet and the tang.
Six pieces for $6.
6 pieces of chocolate bacon.
I didn't eat 6 pieces. We shared amongst the group of people.
Wow.
And so when you buy it, it's
sweating. Wow.
When you buy it, it's cold.
Do they dip it in front of you?
No, it's already dipped.
It's done dipped.
It looks like it's in like a little Chinese food box container thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the little takeout
sure.
Chinese.
Love those little things.
Yeah. So it was
Seinfeld? Fall.
It was really good.
Wow.
And then you know who else I ran into was a friend of ours, good old Jimmy Parkhurst, man.
Jim Parkhurst.
Old West cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jim.
Had myself a cinnamon roll.
Oh, jeez.
Shared one of those puppies, man. Oh, they were good.
So your chocolate bacon and cinnamon roll.
Well, that was the next night. We took the kids for the rides. By the way, I realized, I know this has nothing to do with golf, but I realized something my
Most
kids,
of our show doesn't.
I know, that's okay. That's true. It just had a little tinge.
Yes. So we're going to
in this segment, it's just because we're golf pros.
Zip it in there a little bit.
I realized something my kids, as they're getting older, you know, they have the carnival games there. And, of course, everything you do at a carnival game is going to cost you $5 at the minimum.
Hey, over here. Come on. Come on, over here.
Carnival games for kids, especially when they do 5 or 6 in a row, which is what I budgeted for my kids. I said, you got $30. Figure out how you want to use it, because once it's gone, it's gone.
I understand. Okay. You're a good papa.
They are not the best motivational device for a kid to play, especially 6 times in a row, because my kids at the age of 8 and now 10 don't grasp the concept that they're just getting your money. I mean, we all know playing carnival games are just as adults
focused on the stuffed animal, dude.
Well, yeah, but we realize as humans, you know, that know we're giving our money. It's like just giving it away.
Yeah.
But to the kids, it's like.
Yeah, it's incomprehensible that they're paying for. They don't know you're paying for this, man. This is just just come on, let me do it again.
Well, here's what happened. Like,
that's okay.
You know the air guns where they have the star. They have the red star. Okay,
blow it out.
So Noah he sees these things. He's like, oh my gosh, that's the most amazing thing in the world. Yeah, exactly. So he goes the first time and he nails every single part of the star
except
one little corner.
Yeah, it's mean.
Okay, so they pull it up. And I'm thinking, well, you know,
give it to the kid.
You know what I mean? Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of adults, no kids.
Any maybes.
She shows him the star, hands him the paper, and goes, "Here you go." Doesn't say anything and walks away. And so she
didn't even point out the little red, or just hear you.
He's looking at the paper. He's totally confused. So he can't figure out what the heck's going on. I said, you know what? You get that
little dink.
See that little red? That doesn't. You didn't quite make it. I go. Now you've got $15 more dollars.
And just. My little,
I know.
What were you showing?
Uncle Billy would have done that.
No, I wouldn't have done
I should have taken a lesson from you on that.
Yeah.
So then I go, you got $15 more bucks. If you want to do it again, you could do it again.
Oh, he just fired
So
away.
he does it again, fires away, does the whole star.
Got it?
It looks like it's completely gone. She pulls the paper up. There's the littlest red little piece. It's hanging by, I'm not kidding, a thread of a paper.
A shard.
She goes, thanks for playing.
Oh, brutal. That stuff.
He walks away.
So there's some golfer here where there's target in mind, or it's target, there's pace.
He walks away.
There's vicinity.
He's crushed. He is just crushed. And I said, you know what, man? I said, you did great. I said, these games, the way they set them up.
Every once in a while they should do it. You should look around the big picture, and every once in a while you say, hey, kid, especially if it's a little kid. Most of us adults, we go to that game, man. We want to take that star out. If you look at that game, it's not too many little people doing that. It's always the big guys.
Exactly.
Right? So when you have a little guy probably comes in and does
the gun for him is huge.
I know. This is
he
big
could
stuff.
barely hang on to the gun, and I'm sitting there watching him shoot him. Like, oh, my gosh, where'd you learn how to do this? What are you, like, doing target practice in the backyard when I'm not around?
That's
or what,
the game that we all go for, man. Because the trick is, of course, blowing on the outside. You got to go above and around. But and they only give you like 3 less BBs. Yeah. That's physically possible. Right? And they put a little glue stick on the back of the paper, so even if it does blow, it kind of still holds on by like a little thread. So, anyways, good experience. I mean, you're a good dad.
He won a couple things, and then the other thing that I realized that the last game he did, which I know everybody will, and I can tie this into golf, it requires some kind of sort of backspin. Okay, they were tying it into the golf, so.
The quarter toss onto the circle?
the flat boards with the laundry basket at the
Oh,
bottom.
it does, yeah. Into the bucket.
Into the bucket below, which is just a
Did he get one of those?
joke.
It is so
Not
hard.
even close.
And then those guys sit there like backhanded and make it every time.
And the guy's sitting there just tossing the basket, and Noah can't.
It's so hard to
He
comprehend.
can't figure out what's going on.
I know. And they make it look. It's easy to do, kid. Come here,
So
kid.
that's right after the gun thing. The air
So this
thing.
is trauma. He went to the.
He walks away and he is so mad. He goes, "Dad, I'm just terrible at everything." I said, "You're not."
That's not what they.
I said, "You're totally not." And then the other game he played was the 20-foot basketball shot with the rim that's extra stiff and there's no give on it.
And it's smaller than the basketball.
Exactly. So
it's exact size of basketball. So you have to almost set it on top and let it wiggle itself through.
So 3 games in a row, I'm just watching this as a parent going, this is for my son because he's an emotional kid, which is cool. I love him to death, man. I'm like, man, it's just going to end bad.
Yeah, that's why you have to have the prize hidden somewhere around the corner so as he walks away, you run, oh, the guy just, you did it.
He ended up winning a couple things.
There you go.
But
the little stuffed Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, he won
fish.
He won some kind of a mirror, where you throw darts at balloons, and then he played some other game. They had some other kind of tag game. Oh, have you seen those Nerf air guns?
Yeah.
So they have Nerf air gun target shooting. So he won he knocked all 6 targets out. So apparently my son's going to be a sniper. When
Yeah,
he grows up.
sounds like he's got.
So
he probably
not that I have no guns in my house, so I don't know where he got it from. But
they play video games and stuff. They do.
That's probably what it is.
Sure.
Hand-eye coordination. So that's what I've been up to.
So
man.
yeah, because you got to breathe, right? You got to squeeze and not pull, not jerk.
You got to have feel.
It's got to have balance.
It's
you
like a short game.
Great eye
putting.
So, you could tie in snipers in golf if you got to. I'm on your side with that. All right, I'm with you on that one.
That's a good combo right there, man.
It is.
I like that.
Sniper golf. I've got a quick couple, actually more of a commentary or actually acknowledgement. I can't tell you how proud I am of these 2 kids. There's 2 kids that have been working with me since 8 years now, maybe. They're both junior golfers. People who are in the golf or junior golf world around here know of the Averitt brothers. There's Jack and Owen Averitt.
Oh, yeah.
These 2 young people are not only the coolest of young people, they're the kindest. They have the big hearts. Of course, obviously, they have great parents. But these kids have been in programming for 8 years or so. Owen's all of 10, and if I get these ages wrong, I'm sorry, but I think he's 10. Might be 11, but he's 10. And Jack's about 12. He's going into junior high.
Yeah.
For the last bunch of years, since I can remember, they've been golf enthusiasts. So they've been, them. I mean,
forever.
They're total experts in golf. Golf, they just are one. You want to use the word phenom, and you have to be careful how you use it now because everybody's kid is a phenom. But in my opinion, these 2 are just great golfers. But they're great kids. Right, so I just wanted to give a shout out. They play in the junior tour events, the Slow Junior Tour, and the Central Valley or Coastal Valley. I think it's Coastal Valley, but they play on a Wednesday. They play a tournament, on a Thursday. They play a tournament. This happens all summer long, and so they follow the tour. These guys, and last year Jack, I don't. If my numbers are wrong, they're not intentionally wrong. They're close, but Jack won like 16 of 14 events or something like that.
Wow, I didn't know that much.
His age group, and matter of fact, last year, one year he won on my behalf. He dedicated his win to me, and he left the trophy on my front porch. So when
man, that's cool.
So
right on.
Anyways, the only reason I bring it up is because each and every week they play. I usually get a phone call with kind of the results and how things went, and thanks, coach. And either the dad calls or the kids call. This past week, they were at La Prisma on Wednesday, and they were at Cypress.
Of course, man.
Point. They were at Cypress Point. They were Cypress Ridge on Thursday.
Yeah.
So young Jack, all of 12, shot an 83 out at La Prisma, which is just, if you guys know that golf course, that's just golfing the ball, and he was just so proud, and his brother Owen, the 10-year-old, had a phenomenal round, including what I heard was a 43 on one of the 9s at La Prisma, and so he's all of 10. I mean, these this is amazing. So, which I'm so proud of their scores, but I'm really more impressed is that they would call me and let me know. They're just kind kids, So, long story longer, Owen a few weeks ago, somebody, this is the moral of this is you just don't want to upset Owen because somebody broke into their garage or the garage was open and stole his brand new bike he got for his birthday a few weeks ago, a few months ago. He turned 10, he got a bicycle.
Yeah.
Great brand new bike. And right from when they're inside the garage, somebody went in and took the bike. And he's kind of been having a little sad face lately. But inside, apparently, he takes this out on the golf course. So he went out to Cyprus. Now, granted, this kid's 10.
Yeah.
This was Thursday. Actually, by the way, Jack had a great round. I want to say 81, just something like that. Owen shot 78.
Is this from the white tees then?
Whatever the tee is, that age group.
The middle
plays.
tees?
I don't know, but
it's
78.
Still phenomenal.
And it's a full round of golf. It's in a tournament. It's every shot, every putt is counted, and it's under tournament type conditions. So 78 at 10. I was trying to think back when I first broke 80. I think it was around 15 or 16. Then it came kind of easy.
I wasn't until 17 or 18.
10-year-old.
Wow.
78. So. You don't want to steal his bike and play him in golf the next day. But he's just the nicest kid, and these kids, they're the sweetest kids in their heart, and they're just the way they're. Jack's one of the nicest kids I've ever met, but he's also one of the best golfers. So I bring this up because I'm very proud of them. I want the people to know that these young people, if you follow junior golf the next bunch of years in the Central Coast area, when they get on school teams, the Everett brothers are going to be headlines all the way. If they still have the passion that they do now, they've had it for 9 years, 8 years now. Why wouldn't they still? I mean, it's just part of them. And they're two of the best golfers I've ever seen as juniors, but they're also two of the best kids. So when you combine those two things together, kudos to the parents.
It is going to be interesting to see where they go, if they stay with it. I take my sisters and myself, and we were on swim teams when we were growing up, and we swam competitively for over 10 years. And I got burned out. I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do it. Of course, as you get to be a teenager, you have distractions too.
The one thing I've noticed about the Everett family is they're involved in everything. Jack's like an all-star baseball player, and there's so many different things. Darren coaches. I mean, the parents really understand this, and they've never pressured golf on them. And I think this is why the success story is as good as it is. There's never been a pressure, but those kids literally have come out to program, and 5 hours later they would come to all 3 programs and be around chipping and pitching and do their class and go off and practice. At 5 hours later, when it's time to go home, they would kick and scream they didn't want to leave. Yeah, I'm talking when they're just little, like 5 and 6. But still, can you imagine? Cool. So I just wanted to tell those kids, if they're listening, how proud I am of them. I'm proud of the values that they've learned, or that they have, that the life skills that they learn to get those values in them. They're just great kids, great golfers, and I'd love to get them on the show. Just remember the name Everett Brothers. I say it because they always play together. They're together, but it's Owen and Jack Everett. And I just want to congratulate them and tell you how proud I am, young people. You guys amaze me every single day. So, and they were down at the Fred Shoemaker. They came down, helped out.
Oh, nice.
Picking balls, being there. They went and played the golf course. They got to play the private club at Montecito Country Club. But, so these kids are just really into it. But I'm telling you, if I had kids, I should just steal those 2 kids. I could. But I love Darren so much, and Sue, the mom. But
that was really cool.
But they are just great kids. So I want to just tilt my hat. I'm proud of you guys, and thank you for being who you are, and keep up the great work.
Yeah, guys, keep up the great work. It was fun hanging out with them, especially Jack up at the Nature Valley first tee open at Pebble. That was fun. Yeah. When all 3 of us were walking around, just kind of hanging out. That was kind of fun.
And he's so comfortable and so nice. You speak to him like he's just one of the gang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just that way.
Exactly.
So he's always that way. And he's the first to help someone out. He's always the one that says thank you and or please. You know what I mean? He's just, so that's just neat. But boy, have you seen him hit balls? I mean, but they're that good too. So, because later in the show, we're going to talk about golf and inherited values, and might bring up the name Tiger or Rory and a few of these things, what's happened to the old, inherited values that golf used to instill in people.
Yeah.
Is it still there? Is it lost? Is it coming back? Whatever. So.
Very cool. All right, we'll take our first break here.
Yeah, let's go for it.
How about that?
Good morning, Margaret. Margaret's and speaking, Margaret's always polite on the golf course. Remember how she was mad at us because we played too fast? Do you remember how we broke the etiquette? We were way in front of her.
Yeah, I seem to remember I played 1 round with you guys, and that was it. And
she didn't ask us back at all.
That was up at Poplar Creek.
No, I thought Margaret, it was at Monarch or something.
We played at Poplar too.
With Margaret?
Didn't we? No? Oh man, I'm having a brain.
You and I played Poplar. Is that where they land the airplanes on the 5th green? Yeah, that was you and me.
We probably had that.
But Margaret was out. We were at Monarch, and we drove way ahead of her.
Oh, that's what it was. That was at Monarch.
I still feel bad about that.
We got to thank Golfland Warehouse. They're having a summer sale. If you guys go to golftalkradio.com, click on the summer sale banner for Golfland Warehouse, and they've got specials going on right now on Vokey wedges, CG15 Cleveland wedges, and FootJoy shoes starting at $37.50. So visit golftalkradio.com, click on the Golfland Warehouse banner, and check out those great deals for summer specials.
$37.50. That's pretty
Can't
cool.
beat that, huh?
Hey, before we go, I know we're going to jump real quick. I bought my first item on eBay. I've never been an eBayer. eBayer?
Really?
eBayist? Yeah, but my wife showed me how, and I'll tell you about it offline
Okay.
or on the show. But
Sweet.
I bought my first. I'm an eBayerist.
I love it.
eBay guy.
eBay's a good thing. You guys listen to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. We'll be right back right here on ESPN Radio. Stay with us.
We're back to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy.
Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Don't forget, we have over 200 hours of our show on podcast. The podcast page is absolutely free. And if you guys have an Android phone or an iPhone, you can download the apps at iTunes or Amazon.com. Encourage you guys to check that out. It's pretty cool. And you can also go to our homepage, which is golftalkradio.com, and find the RSS feed there, which is the podcast page. And you can download it to your computer, save the files. You can play it from our page, whatever you want to do. It's got some cool stuff up there, cool interviews. And actually had a guy yesterday. I didn't get his name. Gentleman was out at Black Lake playing, and I was in my office doing my thing. And he walked in and started asking me my thoughts on Rory McIlroy and Steve Williams and all these different things. And he goes, yeah, I listen to your guys' podcast all the time. It's really cool. And, you know, it's kind of neat when you
Speaking
do
of
that,
which,
so.
did you see the pictures with the little one with the golf talk hat from England? Or
I was just actually looking at that. It's funny that you said that.
How incredible is that? We sent a hat over to England, right? UK? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's over in Australia.
Down in Australia.
It's down in Australia.
But
And,
that little one can't be more than not even a year old, maybe. It's wearing a golf talk hat. I love that picture. So
see, it won't.
I don't know if you saw my comment. It says, "Too bad Mike doesn't look so cute in a hat like that." So, but anyways, that was very neat. What's the guy's name? He's probably going to podcast and hate me for that. Craig.
Of course, this computer won't let me open it.
Of course not.
What's up with that? Yeah, it's. Sorry, I was going to answer your question there,
right.
but my computer freaked out on me.
Well, so don't have to worry about it.
It is. It's Mark.
I knew it was
Mark Connolly from Australia.
Connolly.
Mark Connolly from Australia. He says. Mark says. Hello again. Received your cap a few weeks ago. We sent him a Golf Talk Radio tour cap, Adams tour cap, and Lachlan got to give it a spin today. He's still a bit small to walk a full 18 yet, so he was on his second outing to putt. He's still having trouble with the grip, and the fact that he can't stand up yet is causing some issues.
I know, the guy's great.
Here are a couple pics, which I can't open, unfortunately, on this
Well, they're
computer.
both of them just holding the kid up with a hat on it. It just
Oh,
covers
that's awesome, man.
And it's so
Right on,
adorable,
Mark.
little club in hand. So, Mark, thank you, and I'm sorry I didn't remember the first name. I really am. I do apologize because
that's cool, man.
I replied to that this morning when I saw those things. I
I saw that.
So,
That
anyways,
was very cool. And then we got a couple other emails. It's really interesting. A couple other emails from England, and people saying that they love the podcast, keep going, they love the show, and they're trying to spread the word over in the UK. And then we got an invite from Jeff Linnell for next year for the British Open,
well,
and that he's got some rounds of golf. Rounds of golf waiting for us at. I want to say, I could be wrong here. I'm probably going to say it wrong.
He'll probably, if he's listening. Well, yeah, he could be listening. It's almost tea time there.
I know. So all these things are.
Well, that sounds like a good trip because we talked about we got to do that trip when we get to this age, and you got to get me quick, man. I'm going down. I'm getting old.
Are you getting old?
Yeah,
I don't think you're getting old, man.
I feel it at days. But before we went to break, we were starting to talk about the inherited values that golf instills, or at least used to. When I was young, way back, golf was a gentleman's game for a lad. We could even say gentleman's game before women's rights. I mean, it is a gentleman's game, but I mean that in a polite way. You know, it does not just a gentleman, but a gentle person's game, if you will. It was. People took their turns when they're supposed to. They stood quietly. They respected each other's space, which means including stepping on someone's line. and standing in, not standing in their view, those kind of things. And you had the honor, right, to tee off at the, or hit, to tee off because it was your honor, and those things were a part of the game of golf, and I think it was a good thing that those things were instilled as golf went on. So it didn't matter if you were competitive golf or a competitive golfer or you were just a golfer. That was part of the game. So even the USGA recognizes etiquette. They use this big word etiquette, and manners is a good one for it. How to behave and what to do on a golf course. And they even have a play without delay, and that came around when golf boomed, where there was too many people on a golf course. So
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. It's
pace of play
huh?
became an issue. It didn't used to be pace of play. There was 12 people on a golf course all day long. So now when there was 130 people on a course, pace of play. But you don't, good etiquette's where do you place your equipment so you can get to the next hole without having to backtrack and all that stuff. So my question is, and especially with the recent stars of the game, the star just a few years ago who couldn't be beaten, definitely has value issues. And I'll just flat out say it. He does. He has value issues. Respect and courtesy and responsibility and all those things seem to just not be part of that person.
Well, his personality is control. That's all. Right. He's always been in control.
So I'm not going to pick on him. I'm just asking.
No, I don't think you are. I'm agreeing with you.
Do the young players, are they taught how to win versus how to develop into to the gentleman's game? Are the values are the core values that the golf brings not as important as learning how to hit a low score or how to win? Are they focused on the skill, the game, the winning versus are they just kind of leaving out or not as important as that? Because it seems like when most kids and even most of the old tour players, Mike, the Nicklases and Trevinos, they learn by being caddies. And they learn by so they were caddies, which we're going to talk about caddies a little bit later, but they learned the game before they played or competitive.
Right.
These young kids are learning at really young ages how to play well and win. So are we neglecting the etiquette of the game? Or is it are we? Mm-hmm. That's my question. Is that what's more important? You can win, be a star, make some money, or should you be a nice person?
I think there's a little bit of that going around all over the place. And what I mean by that is you and I see it every day. I got a taste of it this last 2 years with my kids playing other sports. Extreme, way beyond extreme. And I talked about it before.
For Little League, for example, or other things. There's some tough stuff, going
unbelievable stuff as a parent that you never understand. Your first year of having your kids in competitive sports. I mean, you kind of think, there's going to be some parents that are going to be over the top, but there were a lot of instances with that this last year. So we were exposed to a lot of that. And I've seen that on the golf course, too. I think that there's always going to be a segment of that. I don't necessarily think that it's, that's where golf is going and all families are going. But you do see it, and I think as sports has become more of a business, mm-hmm. The families are looking at that probably with good intentions in the beginning, that I would love to see my kid do this. He really wants to do this, or she wants to do this. And then down the line, it becomes something else.
Well, good intentions is I want my kid to be exposed to this great game. I want him to be happy. As long as they're happy, I'm happy. You're outdoors. And then if they start to be really good, does that change? Like, okay, now I want my kid to win. It's kind of like a pageant kid, these pageant, I'll do anything I can to get this kid to win.
Well, and here's another angle with that, though, too. Take the issue of what happened with Jack. Not Jack, but Owen, he gets his bike stolen, and when he plays the game, he's driving. He's just competitive. He's competitive. So does that drive overtake? At one point, will that drive overtake values?
But he's self-competitive. He's not competitive against the field. He just wants to do well himself. I've never seen a person so focused on their own ability versus anything around him.
Right, but
nothing around him.
That drive, that drive could lead to nothing. Say Darren as a parent and Sue as a parent, they do phenomenal job with those kids. As and I'm just hypothetically speaking here.
Well, it's going to have to be because Owen's a first tier, which we're going to get to.
Well, as Owen gets older,
right.
it's going to be interesting to see what decisions he makes with the drive he's developed over the years. It's no different than some people that I know that have kids in baseball. The kids are great. They're moving along. They're doing really well. And then as they get older and they have to make more decisions because they get put in some different scenarios, they maybe don't understand or haven't experienced how to deal with those situations. It's kind of like, for you and I to become PGA pros, learning interpersonal skills.
Sure.
Take Rory McIlroy's comments to Jay Townsend. He has a right to make the comment. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's protecting his caddy, but could it have been done a different way? And sometimes I think those things are that's just a maturity level that young people don't reach.
Well, which is incredible that you mentioned that, because you said what's going to happen to Owen, but here's the difference, and I'm just going to use Owen's name because you brought him up. He is involved in a program that focuses on life skills and inherent values. That's all we focus on. The golf skill is the secondary thing. It's all, they're combined. So since he's been 3, Owen has learned that you can't teach a value. You can only show it and hope that they instill it, and you can give life skills to develop those core values.
Sure.
So he's been exposed to it. So I think once you're exposed to it, it's there. It's inherited. That's why we call it inherited values. So once he's got it, I don't think it goes away. I think his competitive drive, but I think he'll always be a gentleman and things. So I'm thinking some of the young superstars might not have had that,
right?
Or they might not.
Well, and I go back to what I mentioned because I know you're passionate about it. I'm hypothetically using Owen.
Yeah. Okay. So a young junior golfer.
My key term there was hypothetical, which I don't know if you heard that. I'm not saying that Owen's going to be that way.
I'm not saying like Owen, a young junior golfer.
I'm not even saying that the first tee doesn't instill that in people. I'm just saying that people go along, kids go along. Okay, and parents go along with great intentions. Somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, even parents with good intentions can cross the line, and I saw that this year, not only in softball, I saw it in baseball, and this is my first year, and this had to do with All-Stars, and it was amazing to me to see how involved the parent got in both of these situations, and to me, what crossed the line of my comfortability with the situation and for the kid, and that's the thing where. Yeah, a program like the First Tee I think is awesome. It's wonderful, and I know that Jack and Owen will have they're going to have great careers in whatever they do. I mean, the Avert family, I've known Darren forever, and Jerry and Brad. I've known those guys since I was in junior high, and they have great values. Their father had great values, and I grew up with those guys.
I understand. I guess my question is that. I think it's lost. I think more people are focused on golf isn't even played hardly anymore. People hit balls. People practice golf skills. The driving ranges are full. Very few people aren't playing as much. So the young people are hitting balls long before they understand the game process.
Right.
So since they're not playing a game, they don't understand where to stand, how to hit, or when to be quiet. They're just ripping balls, and even the young adults, they bring out their coolers. They're hitting balls. It's just hitting balls and trying to hit targets and stuff. Yeah. So the game of golf has kind of lost some of it. But of course I'm passionate about the First Tee. It's my job, but I also believe in it because I wouldn't do it otherwise. But we're trying to do our best with young people to instill those inherited values that golf used to give. And I say used to because I don't see it much in some of these junior tours that I go out and watch. Some of these young players that are really good golfers.
Yeah.
Don't have any values at all. I mean, they don't have, let's just say etiquette. Their etiquette's just gone.
Well, some of them have posses,
but they sure know how to score. But who cares? And so and so when you can, that's what I meant. That was that big question. Would you rather play with someone who's just an average player who exhibits great manners and great etiquette and is polite, or would you rather play the really good player to see his skill who doesn't exhibit any etiquette?
I'd rather play with the first player.
No question.
Any day.
I'd rather play with someone that shoots 120 than someone shoots 60.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'd like to see a 60, but you know what I mean. But a really good round.
But would you like to see a 60 against you if you were playing against them?
Sure, if it was a polite person.
If it was polite, exactly.
So I guess that's what I'm getting at, and
I'm on the same page with you, man.
And I'm not going on a First Tee rant, but that's one of the reasons that the First Tee is a development program versus a golf skills program.
Yeah.
So we do teach golf skills, and as we know, because most PGA professionals are the coaches.
Yeah.
So, but the manners is what we do. So I'd like to know. I think we should open the phone lines when you call back. Call anytime during the show. what would you rather play with? A really good golfer, watch that dude shoot 71 out there. That is, that just doesn't exhibit many of the values or the etiquette that he should. Or would you rather play with someone that just has great etiquette? Am I leading the witness here? I don't want to. I want anybody's opinion, obviously.
No, I don't think you're leading the witness at all.
I just want to know.
It's interesting to me because the first tee's been around for a while, and now the other sports. So like this year,
14
this
years?
is the second year that we've been involved in other sports competitively.
Well,
My kids have
your
never been.
yeah, your kids.
They've never been involved in golf competitively. They've gone to the first tee, but now some of these other sports are starting to instill values as well, and they're making it a valid. They're making it.
Well,
it's something they have to do.
I wonder wonder we're realizing this.
Exactly. And so my point is, I'm sure that they've seen, the first tee and how it's grown, and, these little league associations or soccer or whatever, which I think is a great thing. I think it's a phenomenal thing. I mean, I can remember growing up playing competitive sports. I even had some, bad situations with myself playing competitive baseball as a teenager, and I did some things I wasn't real proud of. And things that I said, but I look back on it, and I wasn't the only one that was doing that. It was kind of like the culture of
what was your culture?
The culture of the sports I played in competitively. It was the parents, it was the kids. I mean, and I grew up in the Bay Area, so I mean, it was there was a lot of competitiveness in that area. It wasn't like I grew up in a rural town out in Minnesota. It was.
I don't believe it's the young person's fault or your fault if you misbehaved. I think it's the culture and the way it was taught to you. And
I agree.
And I think there needs to be. If you want to call with an opinion, 595-3776, 805-595-3776. We'd love to know your opinion. Who would you rather play with? Somebody that exhibits great etiquette, that's just an average player, or someone that's a really, really good player that doesn't exhibit too much of the etiquette? By the way, in the rules of golf, you can be disqualified and thrown out of an event. The committee can if you breach etiquette rules.
Yep.
So it's really is part of the rules. Slow play, 2-shot penalty, which is rare these days. But anyways, I just want to know your thoughts. And are we teaching our kids the right way? And if not, if you're a parent teaching your young person, keep that in mind. Keep the etiquette in mind every time you teach them how to hit a wedge, how to hit a driver. Teach about the etiquette as well. So we need to take a break. When we come back, we will continue this conversation, have some more fun, and hopefully get some phone calls. You're listening to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy here on ESPN Radio. Don't go away.
Hey, Central Coast, this is Scott Van Pelt. You're listening to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy here on ESPN Radio 1280.
Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. So glad you guys are back in with us. Topic on the board right now. Would you play with a duffer?
Can we take it right? We have a caller.
Can you play with a duffer, or would you play with a pro who has no courtesy whatsoever? So we're gonna go straight to the phone.
I love how you shorten that. That's good, dude. Here we go. Mike from Slow.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, thanks for calling, and we only got a few minutes, but I'm glad you called. What's up? What's on your mind?
It was interesting what you guys were starting to say, and I was just turned it on. I'm looking on the website to see what you guys are talking about. But so your question was, who would you rather play with?
Mm-hmm. Somebody that has great etiquette and just the old values of golfers, or someone that's really, really good that doesn't exhibit.
Yeah, the guy who has etiquette maybe shoots 120.
Yeah, so
he doesn't 120, 130. He doesn't.
Yeah, there's no question. The guy, the old time player. That's a lot of us go out there and play as singles. We like to join up, and generally 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to run into the old-fashioned golfer that knows every rule and is polite, is friendly, you love to play with, and you become, semi-lifelong buddies after 18 holes, and that's generally what you run into. But, yeah, if I'm even remotely close to playing with somebody that has that, either you address it or you walk away from them, because my game is not that good anyway. But if you're playing with somebody like that, forget it. It's gone.
But it stands out. It's not the score that stands out or the great way they can hit a drive. It's what stands out is their demeanor and the interaction. And I agree so much. And a lot of people who used to play golf with me and stuff, they say they were intimidated at first to play. And I'm like, why? I don't get it.
Well, you're the friendliest guy in town. Come on, that's silly. You and I played a couple times together.
See?
And, it's your personality. That's what lends to the dynamics of the game, is that the friendlier you are, the more fun you're having playing a game, that just makes you better, I think. It gives you, there's just a better energy in the group when everybody's, just having a good time.
Well, since you made this amazing comment, Mike, do you know how to reach me?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you reach me? Let's go play again.
Sweet, buddy.
It's on me, man. We'll have a good time and play a few holes and have a little lunch or something together, okay?
All right, I sure appreciate it, guys.
All right, buddy.
Have a good morning.
Thanks
See you,
for your
Michael.
comment. Talk to
Bye.
you later. It proves a point, right? It just goes to a point that, I'm impressed with good golf. I really am. For a minute or, a millisecond, I just, it's like, wow. So especially certain shots. There's a certain shot that just goes, wow. That's just, wow. But that's not what stands out. It's not.
Yeah.
What stands out, the other day when we played, or a couple of weeks ago, we were out at Marcellia, and you and I had our struggles, and neither, there was car accidents, and there was fevers, and there was sunstroke.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the end of the round, when we shook hands, the two of the guys that they played with said, "You know what? I've never had so much fun or never laughed so much in a round of golf." And thank you.
Those guys were awesome.
They thanked us. So they were amazing, but they thanked us.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, oh, what a brutal. So people aren't more, they don't, people care too much about the score. And when they really should care is about their demeanor. That's what they should care about. That's what should be their foremost focus. And then I think it goes hand in hand. I think if you're having fun.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say the same thing. I think that it is. I think it all blends together. Yeah. I really do. I really think it does blend together.
You are the busiest man in the world. By the way, you do all of this always in a good mood. You have great golf etiquette. And the values, and I have a list of them here, but your integrity is second to none. Sportsmanship, always really good. You just are one of those guys that's fun to play golf with. Confidence is something you need to work on a little bit because you're much better than you give yourself the credit for. But
I think that, where I think that comes from for me is just the lack of playing.
Oh, of course, obviously.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was thinking about that today. The more that I play, man, it's like the less I think, and everything's great. So, I just, that's my problem. That's a me problem. I got to get out there and play more.
That's a me problem. Mike, thanks for calling. We're going to come back, take a break. When we come back, we're going to do a joke around. You guys have the best golf joke you got. You can win prizes. Don't go away. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy on